So, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Joan?
Councilor Paul?
Present.
Councilor Janik? Present. Councilor Edwards?
Present.
Councilor deMedeiros?
Present.
Councilor Burke?
Present.
Councilors Edwards and Milburn are absent.
Consent agenda. Acknowledge receipt of reports from the Treasurer Charette. August 2024 Budget and Revenue Report. Anyone would like to entertain a motion to approve it, or whether you want to take it off the consent? Any motion?
Move approval. Second.
Motion been made and second. All those in favor? Councilor President deMedeiros, discussion possible vote on Resolution 2024-0015 regarding school department capital expenses. We talked about this at the last meeting, that we needed a resolution to cover their expenses because we didn't get the reimbursement yet, and there was somewhat of an overage on what we gave last time. So I'll read it out loud if you want. I'll read it out loud. Whereas the Tiverton Town Council previously approved the allocation of monies from the Casino Gaming account for Tiverton School capital projects, including monies for renovations to the middle-high school bathrooms and the high school locker rooms and fitness center. And whereas the school department overspent the allocation given based on the part of their anticipation of receiving reimbursements from the Rhode Island Department of Education, which only occurs once the project is completed. And whereas the town treasurer seeks permission of expenditure of $1,154,924.16 of casino gaming account revenue to cover the shortage for the project. Whereas it is expected that the Rhode Island Department of Education will reimburse the school committee for the noted projects. Therefore, it is resolved that Tiverton Town Council authorize the following. The town treasurer may expend funds from the casino gaming account not to exceed $1,154,924 as full and complete payment of any costs associated with the projects as stated above. Notwithstanding the provision of Section 2-131 of the Code of Ordinance, any reimbursement received by the town or school department from the Rhode Island Department of Education will be paid back in the casino fund in an amount equal to the amount expended by the treasurer as a one-time transfer to reimburse the funds to cover the project shortfalls. Councilor deMedeiros, 9/27/2024. Any comments?
I just would like to make one comment if I could.
Yep.
And just so that everyone in the audience understands, the schools did not overspend what was allotted to them. We had,
That's not totally true.
well, we had expected that we would have the difference in what was allotted from the reimbursement. And the reimbursement doesn't come to us until the project is completed, the project is paid for, and then it's submitted. And we were not under this, we were under the understanding that there would be a lapse in time, maybe a year, the next school year, but we were not aware that it might be spread over a couple of years, so, because it,
Right.
3 years, because it's grant money.
have-
And we were not made aware of that, and we actually, Councilor Burke and I were on the building committee, and that RIDE never said that to us, so no one on the building committee understood it that way, so.
Yeah, the ride reimbursement, and Denise, you could probably explain this a little more than I do, but the ride reimbursement was $977,946. So the remainder, Denise, the remainder is what project? Do you know what I'm saying? Because the 997,946, if you subtract that from the 1,154.
1.154 million is the sum of the two project overages. from the
So it's not really, but Deb's right. The 977,946 is not an overage. That should have been reimbursed, well, that was anticipated getting from RIDE. Deb's right on that, right? No?
The first allocation was $2 million. They spent $2.182 million. Okay, so
So it was an,
more
oh,
than,
more
so
than
it
what
was
was
1
allocated.
point whatever, more than what was allocated.
182,000 more than was allocated.
182 more than was allocated, so we're
Okay,
making that
So
up.
there was supposed to be reimbursements from that $2 million project to
No,
help.
that was voted on before we said the reimbursements would go to them. That was way early.
But then subsequent to that, you voted to allow that, because how would you have funded the high school fitness and locker
Right.
center with
But
only
we-
1.3 million when the budget was 2 million?
Right, I'm talking about the 182. We gave them 2 million to do that project, and 182 is the overture. We never said that that would come from
No,
the
not
Rhode Island
that.
reimbursement.
Right,
That
not the 2
amount,
million.
Not that.
but the 2 million
But
we
the 2 million
did.
was supposed to propel
2 million, you're absolutely right.
reimbursements to fund the next project.
Correct.
So the
So-
977,946
Is the shortage on the second project.
on the second project.
So when you add those two
Which is
together.
in overspending because it was supposed to come from the reimbursement, which we're not getting yet. Correct. Okay. No, that's what Deb's point
Right.
was. Okay. All right.
Which is why going forward, we're going to make sure that there's money in that school capital account to be able to cover things.
Right, before we give, but we didn't know that
Right,
they didn't.
right.
And now we're understanding if it's over a certain amount, it may take as long as 3 years to get it back. I think
The term
Yeah, I
and the
think the school
size of the
departments-
project determines the
it could be as long as 3. If it's over 2
1 to
million,
3 years.
1 million.
So how,
So that money could come back to us in 3 years. So that's not money we can spend. That's money that just sits there for now.
But when it comes back, it will go back into that,
It will,
good account?
at this point,
Yeah.
it'll go into the casino fund because we're paying
right,
for it
but
out
then
of that.
if more than 1.1 comes back, that is there, but that can't be spent without us allocating it.
Correct.
Am I right? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, so one thing I noticed in the 2025 ride instructions for this stuff, the fact that it could be paid over 3 years leaped out at me immediately. I didn't really notice that in the past.
But I think it's always been there, we just didn't, we weren't
There's
aware
been
of it.
very few projects that have been reimbursed to date
Right, so we didn't
that were of
realize
any
it.
significance. So
Okay, so, all right. Any questions on this? I need Mike,
I can do this after we make the regular motion, or I can just do it now.
whatever.
No, just a minor typo. In the third whereas, seeks permission to expend.
and I think reimburse is one word, isn't it? No dash?
Yes.
Reimburse is one word, but to expend.
Yes.
So we can do that before.
Yeah, but Denise is looking at it.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there it is. All right.
When I
So-
saw it, I,
I'm going to suggest that before I make this motion, we change reimbursements to a non-hyphenated word in the second whereas, and we change of in the third whereas to the word to.
and also in the fourth, whereas reimbursement is also
Yep,
hyphenated.
and change that. So with those, I make a motion to approve the Resolution 2024-15, Town of Tiverton Resolution appropriating funds from the casino revenue account.
Second,
Motion been made and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Now,
Am I staying here?
you want to just hang for a few minutes, just in case? All right, so what took so long is why there was a little delay is we had to really look at these numbers again to make sure that all the casinos, we've been voting for certain casino money because people needed it, ahead of this meeting. So we just wanted to be prepared and make sure that our figures were right. So in 2023's account right now, we have $838,000, 838,150. That's in 2023.
Oh, I see what you did.
In 2024, and I don't have this figure right, we have
3,022,850.
okay. Yeah, I did have it right. So that's the monies we're talking about tonight. And that subtracted the pumper truck we're paying cash for. That subtracted the
So,
full payment of
Two
the,
debt services that were in the budget that we took out.
Right, so that would
we
be-
could generate enough
so
money
that
to
would be the
give school
street
more.
lights, and that would be the ladder truck we paid in
Correct.
full. And then that included the school committees
255 from July 31st.
from July 31st, where we pulled it out of their budget. That was capital,
And then there's
okay.
another 286,000.
The
The
286,
technology and
Right.
when you
They
encourage
took
them
out of
to.
their budget. we
right,
said that
right,
we-
which we suggested they do. Okay,
So
So that-
406.1 is a good balance.
that should be good.
So before we go much further, I just want to make a note for Mike. I know that there's a resolution that adopted the streetlights, the ladder truck, and the capital for the doors.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if there's a resolution that adopted the pumper at 925 or the school capital at 286. So we need to,
Yeah, we need resolutions for
yeah.
that.
We're gonna wrap it
Yeah,
after
I-
tonight.
Yeah, and after tonight,
Just trying to get the ticket list things of things that need to be
So you gotta give
done.
us the pumper?
925.
this is the first year we're doing, this is like the first time we're doing this, but I hope people realize that the casino money is saving you money on taxes. Because all this money that would have been in capital that we would have taxed for, we are paying. I don't think we've ever paid for a fire in cash, and we are doing that. So, I think this is a good thing.
$255,000.
And doing that
for school,
stops the payments for
We did
20
do the-
years and all
okay.
the interest.
And $286,000.
We also paid off the other
They
one.
took out of their budget, computers, technology, whatever.
So I believe the doors were already put in the last
Okay.
resolution.
I think
Okay.
so,
Yeah,
but
alright.
we
It's
need
just
to
the
check.
inventory, so that's a running list.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we get a running list of things that we got.
So do we know offhand by doing the pumper now and the streetlights instead of through bonding, how much we're saving in interest?
I do not know that
Okay.
right now.
But I would imagine the pumper, the,
I'm going to guess that they're lending around 6-7% right now,
yeah,
and we're not earning that on our money.
And there was no prepayment penalty.
perfect. All right, do you want to do the town, or why don't we do,
Can we just look at everything and then?
yeah,
So there's a lot in front of you, and there's a couple things
Too
that
much
you
in
don't
front of
have.
us.
So I would suggest we try to deal with the school first, because I think and I would try to reserve some monies.
yeah, but we're not going to vote for anything until we get the
No, no,
total
no, I
presentation.
get it, that's fine. I agree.
And you're not gonna vote to get the resolution anyway, so this is just giving me, I think the goal tonight is to figure out what you wanna spend, give me those numbers, we'll put it in the resolution, and then it won't be finalized until the resolution's actually passed.
No, I agree.
That's what the ordinance requires.
I think something is missing here. How about the fire?
I have, I'm going to give you that. You do have some backup for that. There is,
Because we had already kind of,
no, I know we've had union negotiations, and it's part of what we've agreed to provide for the union. So, there are a number of things I think that I have.
but what am I looking at here?
That's what we received at the last gaming meeting. That's the same schedule. I didn't update it.
Yeah, but I think that the recreation is,
So you're right. I
It's
have a couple
changing.
of very high priority issues that need to be resolved.
all right, go ahead, you do it.
So one is, we agreed that we would buy the fire department PFAS-free gear. To allow them to have a second set of equipment so that they don't have dirty equipment that they're working on.
And we told them it would come from the
And we know that
casino.
that's, think that was $170,000, and we're getting $25,000 back from USDA.
He's right here.
All right, but I'll give you the rundown if there are more questions.
The PFAS equipment. So it's 107.
So it nets out to be 145,
Where'd you
because
get that?
we're marrying that up with a grant with USDA, which we've already applied for and been approved. It's a 15% grant, so it's $25,000 that will help augment this purchase.
Okay, so that's something we informally committed to.
We did.
And before we told them, we got like the head nod.
So in addition to that, though, because he's buying this gear, and we really have no way to clean it, he's asked to also look at a gear extractor and dryers to clean this gear and the old gear actually as well. Because right now, we don't have a methodology of
We
doing it.
talked about that at the negotiations.
So we would know that they would always have a clean set of gear.
Yep, yep. And we did talk with them about this. Okay.
So, go ahead.
Can we have the chief just explain briefly why this gear is important for the firefighters?
Sure, so recently PFAS-free gear was developed and it's come to market. So prior to that, all of our structural firefighting gear contained PFAS chemicals. It was the only way that that gear could be made. So we're already asking firefighters to go into a toxic environment. Now that we have this gear available, I think it's incumbent upon us to get them PFAS-free gear. It also would provide a second set, which they do not have, so if, in the event that their primary set got damaged or contaminated, they would have a backup set that they could go into.
And so for some folks who might be watching, PFAS is a forever chemical
Yes,
that is very toxic to the human body.
and firefighters have a high incidence of cancer, and some of it's now being linked to possibly the gear.
Okay. And then we're gonna wash it.
And we're gonna wash it
Okay.
with a proper gear extractor.
Yeah, oh, no, I agree, I agree.
An extractor that's designed to clean firefighting gear, not a commercial washer. This is an actual gear extractor that's made for that
And we
purpose.
talked about this, I
We
remember
did, we
that.
did.
Okay.
So Chief, did this also include the boots?
This included everything. I included the boots, the
Yep.
flashlights, and the MS bags.
Okay, all right.
Oh.
Well, just because we agreed to it in
yeah.
negotiations.
And yeah, and we'll explain the boots. Right now, they have rubber boots.
Right.
And they're asking for leather.
For leather.
So we are buying everyone leather boots right now, so, and then they'll have two pairs of
They will have,
boots.
similarly, they'll have two
It'll be
sets
the
of boots
same
if
thing.
the same. Right.
Okay,
And these are,
And all new cadets that go through the academy will start with rubber boots, and then we provided leather boots when they get out.
Right.
So it'll be consistent throughout.
and these are specific for each person.
Right.
Yes.
They're gonna be, we're gonna have them all measured, fitted, and they will get gear that fits them appropriately.
and we're probably gonna have a full squad soon.
We're gonna be very close.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
So of the chief's items, those are my two highest priority items.
Right,
I'll
yeah.
let him explain the rest.
Sure.
What he has, but those two would be on the list.
well, we did promise the
No, I
firefighters.
agree. But
And we said, trust me.
So one is the PFAS-free gear, it's a net $145,000. And then the other is the gear extractor and dryers at $45,000.
The 170?
So, yeah, I would say we'd have to, it is 170, and we're expecting we've applied for, and I believe we will be approved, the $25,000 match from USDA.
So you want, so it'll be 170, not 145.
All right, go on. Portable radios and batteries, you want to explain that?
So, sure. Just give me 1 second. So according to the collective bargaining agreement, we're supposed to provide a radio and battery and chargers to each member. Through grants, we've been able to acquire 33 portable radios, but our current, if we get to full staff, we're going to be at 36. So we were looking for money to finish that radio project with the new radios.
That includes the chief and the deputy.
And the training captain.
Well, the 35 is, the number is
Right,
everybody.
Right, so that would cover, so everybody would have a radio.
Okay.
Can I ask one more question on going back to the cleaning?
Sure.
Is that one unit, and does it stay at one fire station? How
So
does that-
because of the plumbing and the septic issues, the recommendation would be to put it at Station 2, where we have town
North-
water,
North
and
Tiverton.
we're not, North Tiverton. Their idea was then to get a gear dryer for every station, so they could wash their gear there and then take it back to their station that they're at, and then have it dried there.
Well, how long does that whole process take?
Washing it, probably like within an hour or so, and then
Oh,
it
okay.
takes a little while on the gear rack. They're portable, they're on wheels, they're electric, they plug in, you can wheel them around, and
So they'll have one to use, so I'm just
By-
thinking if
so
they
by-
take one off to clean it and they get called out right away.
they would go into the set that they're
They go
using
into
now.
the second
So they
set.
would have, everybody would have a backup set of gear.
Okay. Patient stair chairs. I know
So-
what these are.
Yeah, so these are the chairs that we use to transport patients from their residence to the stretcher to the ambulance. Ours are getting quite old, and we were looking for money to replace those. So we had purchased 2 in 2004 and 1 in 2009. So we were hoping to get those replaced as a capital item.
Okay.
And just a comment for people who work in healthcare, patients are older, sick, or bigger, less mobile, and they all live on the third floor.
Right.
So this is
Well, it's
really,
safer for them
this
and
is
the
really
men.
imperative
It
for.
is, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
So replacing the side, the rakes, fascia, soffits, and texture 111 siding on the front of Station 3. We looked at it, and basically all the woodwork, so the station's going to actually be 50 years old next year. It was built in 1975. The woodwork is rotting, and we were looking for money to replace the woodwork on the station.
Okay. Station 2.
Station 2, we were looking to get money to paint the station, and also the front railing. We now have caution tape on it. It's corroded and needs to be replaced.
And Station 2 is the north
North
end.
Tiverton.
Training facility.
So again, this was a request, there's a company that takes a Connex box and they outfit it with different props that can be used over and over again. Given the number of probationary firefighters that we're gonna have and a very young department, we were hopeful that maybe at some point we could have a training area or a training facility that was to be utilized.
And without saying too much, the contract supports this for something that we've decided to do. Right?
Yes.
I won't, I'll be quiet on that one,
Why we can't? What? Go
because
ahead.
that's not something we negotiated.
No, it's not something we negotiate, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about as far as staffing, but that.
Yeah.
Right.
AEDs.
So AEDs for some of our vehicles, we currently do have AEDs, but they're not, we upgraded to LifePak 15, so our current AEDs are functional. They're just not compatible in terms of connecting to like a LifePak when that arrives on the scene. So it was just something on the list that if we could ever upgrade and get those for, that would be compatible with the LifePak 15s.
So Chief, have we gotten to the point yet where all the AEDs in town use the same batteries?
No.
No,
Still not?
I don't think you could do that, right? No, because they're all different.
They come by grants, they come by
Yeah, but they're all different numbers, right? The battery.
different names,
Makes
different
them all-
Yeah,
models,
because
different
I know you
brands.
can't. They're not
The only
interchangeable.
reason I ask is batteries and the accessories that go with these things are very expensive.
Well, I know, but they upgrade them all the time, and they're not. I know that from working in the hospital. Inflatable boat trailer and motor.
So again, I was looking at the potential of getting a inflatable boat. Great thing about these is they don't need a boat ramp to launch. Basically, they can be hand carried to like a pond. This is a military grade rescue dive type boat, and it also included the boat motor and the boat trailer.
But we still have the other boat.
We do.
Security cameras and intercom system for Station 2.
We're looking like for a intercom buzzer system. We do keep that door locked all the time, and it would just, every time somebody rings the doorbell, this could be like in the administrative assistant's office, she could see who's at the door and buzz that person in, and also with a security camera for the front office area.
And that's where the drugs are. That's where you.
The drugs have been moved. There
drugs
are,
have
well,
been
no,
moved.
there are no drugs that are kept in the storage closet. They're on the
Okay.
trucks, secured on the
Good,
trucks.
Okay, all right. But we. Okay. and we talked about this. Station 3 apparatus bay drop ceiling.
So the,
Station 3 is the.
on Crandall Road,
Okay.
just would say that before I would do this, I would want to actually do the rotting exterior wood rather than replace the drop ceiling where water and dampness would get in and degrade it. But what's happening is the ceiling tiles, they're actually large rectangular. Looking to go to square ones. Several of them have fallen down, and as we're probably getting, obviously, heat loss through the ceiling. So it was another request that if we could get that replaced.
Okay. Any other any questions?
I just have one on the AEDs, Chief.
Yes.
How many are you looking for? If I'm counting this correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4,
It
5,
should be-
6?
Yeah, I believe that's it.
That's, oh, okay, Dave, you're right, 6.
7.
For your primary piece of equipment, right?
How do you, it says here that the car 2 is compatible
Oh,
already.
sorry, I guess it
So
is 6, sorry, yeah.
All right, no, because the police department's looking for them also, so I'm wondering if that can be something that's
Right.
combined. They've got an estimate of 21,000 for 13. You've got an estimate of 21,000 for 6.
That's weird. Although he's probably got a grant.
Or we might have been
The
looking at
estimate would be
different,
the same.
ours would be compatible with the light packs, maybe perhaps his was a different,
Life Pack CR2.
21,000 for
There's a
6.
fancier.
I'd have to go and double check and compare it against his.
Right.
He wants 13 for 21,000.
But you said it might be because of a grant, but a grant's just going to reimburse.
You're right, I'm sorry, you're right. I'm just teasing him.
I didn't even bother addressing that.
Yeah.
Figure that out. Just, yeah,
All right,
it was when they,
thank you.
all right, thank you very much.
I'm gonna have the
Yeah.
schools come up right now. I kinda wanted to make sure we did the PF, that's why I brought him up first. What I promised.
Let's put King a month or so ago.
Oh, all right. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chair.
All right, so you saw what we just did, right? So,
thank you.
okay. So that's all taken care of, you don't have any questions on it?
Nope, that's
fine?
perfect, thank you.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So I believe you have a letter in front of us. Think graciously, on July 31st, you allocated $255,000 for doors at our schools. Luckily, or positively, the bid came in at $86,000. So that left $169,000. So we're seeking your approval and permission tonight to use a portion of that, $127,000 of the $169,000, specifically for 4 projects that we consider pretty critical for the schools. The first being, we need a new condenser at the middle school to ensure heat in a section of the building that lacks it because of the condenser. Estimated cost is $45,000. That is reimbursable through RIDE at 35%. We'd like to finish off that locker room project. There were things that were left out. An air purification system specifically for the safety of the facility. Additional shelving, so we have this big room with all our equipment in it with no shelving. And we came a little short with fully staffing the fitness center itself, so we'd like to add those last few pieces of equipment there. And the estimate for those 3 things is $40,000.
Would that be reimbursable?
The air purification system would be. The other 2 are called fixtures, furniture, and equipment, and that's non-reimbursable.
Thank you.
Security cameras at the high school, and you can see it there, it's 8 cameras that came actually part of the project. It's that section of the building that gives us a broader view of everything there. That came in at $12,000, that is reimbursable. And then lastly, which is really important for the middle school and the high school, our 2 biggest campuses, floor scrubbers, which cleans all the floors. Currently, we don't have one that's working in the district. The estimate there is $30,000. That unfortunately, again, because that's furniture,
Yeah, that
fixture, and
wouldn't
equipment is non-reimbursable. So the total for the 4 projects is $127,000, and we're looking to, use money that you've allocated, which has $169,000 left at this time.
And that went back in, so it's there for us to allocate. Back in the casino. So,
That's the way we want this.
that's the way it's, so 86, okay. We allocated 255, Denise voted check for 86 or whatever, and then the balance goes back in the casino to have them come back and ask for, okay, because it all has to be in a resolution.
Right. What is the reimbursement amount for the air purification? Is that also the 35%?
That is 35%.
And also the security cameras?
35%.
Yeah, 35. Any questions for the superintendent or Brandon?
It's not huge money, 35%.
Well, let's see if they, well,
Now, has all
Finish.
this safety stuff been done?
so you go into the other request?
No, I'm just talking about, excuse me, the money that we allocated so far for safety, has that all completed?
Yes, yeah, other than what's on the list that we sent in February. But,
Right,
yeah, but
okay.
The original list, yes.
Okay. Any questions on this? No, you have another request?
Well, it's just the original one that we had submitted, I believe, last spring.
Yeah,
Again, we
I
realized
don't
the
know if we-
revenue and the ability for you to allocate funds is
I don't
limited.
know, I don't know if we have that. Well, it was last spring, things are like. Oh, I remember this, though, okay. No, I do, I remember we got this. That's a good start. Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
yeah, well, I went
We
through my
didn't- we
files
didn't
today, and
discuss
I
it yet.
I knew you had sent something, but I couldn't find it.
Madam Chair, again, and we recognize that, you know, the revenue you have available to you is limited. When you're looking at this list here, the two critical things is well, not obviously,
Yeah,
but
we're
the
just gonna
doorknobs.
wait till they get it, just once
Oh, sure.
they don't have them, and they're just, right? You guys don't have this yet, we're making a copy. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
But while we're waiting, just on the other items, I know those were discussed at the last school committee meeting, which I did watch, so I did have a good understanding of what all of these requests were for.
Yeah, for some reason I don't have. And I really,
Thank you.
Dr. Sanchona, the safety projects are all completed,
Thank you.
Other than what you're looking at in the document you just received,
Thank you, sir.
bills have been paid,
those have been paid.
should be ready for reimbursement.
Yeah, we have almost $1.7 million coming in, with about 1.2 be delivered before March.
I'll be good in it, okay. Because I'm a little worried about,
Very good.
I do have this,
I
okay.
need to have that mess again.
All right,
I
does
need to
everyone,
have this again,
does everyone have this?
yes.
All right, we're
Yes.
looking at this now, okay. Go ahead, Dr. Sanchoni.
Again, recognizing that, you know, revenue is not abundant, I would call your attention to the two most critical items on this list, which is unfortunately the two most expensive, which is the middle school doorknobs and levers, deadbolts for the locks, for both middle school and the high school. I do, again, those numbers come to us from a professional estimator who puts it in a 5-year capital plan. So they're trying to pick a number that would be valid for 5 years, because they don't know exactly when it's funded. I believe those are exceedingly high. We've actually talked to a locksmith, and we believe the cost might be half of that. So I can't guarantee
Which would come
you
back
that.
to us anyway if we
Right.
allocated it.
So I just, you know, for your perspective, you
Yeah.
know, we'll use what the professional estimator has given us, but I do believe once we go out to bid, about half that's gonna,
So, the middle school and the high school is your priority, the locks, the
locks.
doorknobs.
Yeah.
How about way down here, elementaries?
The elementaries have solid locks on their doors right now. That would be an enhancement. Again, you know, everything with security, we'd like to pursue. Again, I'm just trying to
But
make
they
it.
have safe, in your opinion, locks right at this
They
moment?
weren't cited by the Homeland Security report like the middle school and the high school were.
Okay, okay.
So I know that on one of those reports, they were talking about the elementary school handles being much lower. So did we do that, or is that what this,
That's what this is.
that's what this is?
Oh, this, oh,
But the difference, you know, the difference between the two school, or the middle school, high school, and the elementary is, we don't have one lock system at the middle school, high school. So we're running around with 60 keys.
Right.
And the elementary at least has locks that are controlled by one key.
Oh, okay.
Similar lock and so forth. Now, this absolutely would make it better, more safer, for sure.
okay.
Are these reimbursable
Yes,
at
35%.
35?
They all would be, right?
Yes.
It's furniture that's not. Is that what
Furniture,
you just
fixture,
said?
and equipment, those three.
Okay, okay. All right, and you want to just go down the other, those are your priorities.
Those three would be, you know, the two, middle school, high school first, and the elementary door locks, and the rest is, you know, just fixing some things that are broken, the gym dividers. at 3 of the schools. The security vestibule, adding in security film, that came out of the Homeland Security report.
Yes.
You can see that's,
Now
modest
that's to
amounts for
put
all of our
film on
schools.
every,
Keeps the glass from shattering. It's not bulletproof, it just means,
right,
it won't
but it's
shatter all over the
every
place.
classroom. No?
The entire vestibule and office area of the
Okay.
schools, not every classroom.
Okay,
It slows them down.
okay.
It doesn't make sense, though. You would think that every first floor window would have to be done versus just the vestibules.
Well, when they get in the building, I think they're talking about, if they get in the building. Hopefully, they won't get in the
An
building.
awful lot of first floor windows.
So the gym dividers and the middle school gym divider,
At Fort Barton and Pecasset, they just don't work anymore.
they don't? They're not that old.
Pecasset is, hung on by a string. They get a lot of use, right?
Yeah.
Every day they're closing and opening
I guess
multiple times.
time flies, I
About
guess.
15 years.
Yeah, time flies. And the middle school,
New
that
schools
has,
anymore.
the middle school has to be older than that divider.
So the dividers aren't reimbursable, right?
No, they would be. They were part of our capital plan, yep.
It'd be part of curriculum.
Yep, they might even be actually at a higher rate because it could be considered educational. Just dividing our gym and,
Go figure.
And then the middle school vestibule would be the same that you just described with the high school.
yeah.
And the air purification,
That's a duplicate of what this other one is, correct? I know this is an older request.
yeah,
That was the original
Right,
request.
Yeah,
so
you've got
now
the,
that you have it on this other, the balance
Oh,
on the
right,
255, you
yes,
can
yes,
cross
yes,
that out?
yes,
Okay.
you can cross that out.
The, what, purification?
The
Purification system for the
purification.
high school.
I was wondering why we were doing more purification.
No, I think this is just an older request.
Yeah, I know, I'm only kidding. Any questions from the town council?
Madam President?
Yes.
Dr. Sanchioni, I don't know if you're even aware or not, but this has been going on for probably about 5 years now. Is the roof leak at Pecasset and the gym fixed?
Yes. It was
Beautiful.
fixed last winter, spring.
Awesome, awesome, thank you.
Anything
I
else?
just haven't seen it on any of this.
Yeah, fight's not there.
So, your full request would be minus the
So it's
25,000.
647.
Okay. Does that make sense to you guys? Because we're going to take the purification out.
But your top two are the doorknobs,
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it would be,
the two sets of doorknobs,
Middle school, high school,
and deadbolt.
but how about elementary?
and
Well,
elementary.
I'm just saying what Dr. Sanquioni had said, the
Okay.
top two doesn't include the elementaries.
Elementary, right. That would be number 3 if you were prioritizing the list.
All right.
How many doors did we just replace for 86?
It was 2 at Ranger, 2 at Pecasset, and 2 at the middle school, so 6 doors.
6, okay.
So after this list, does this complete all of the recommendations from the Homeland Security audit?
Yes.
Until they change the rules again,
Until they
right?
come back.
Or it's not, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty impressed because it was a very, very lengthy list when they came through.
Yeah. Well, we started with the cameras and then
Yep.
the locks and the buzzer systems, and so we've been taking it off
Chipping
one
away
at a
at
time,
it, yeah.
yes.
We haven't voted. Mike, I wouldn't get, when we stop voting, then we can write it off. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know you are. All right, any other questions?
Trying to, I don't have everything in, but
Yeah, I'm watching.
we can figure it out afterwards.
Mike,
Dr. Sanquioni, just, so I'd missed it as I was putting numbers in. There was one of the items on the first page that you said was only this page?
Yes.
That you said was only partially reimbursable. Can you give me that amount again?
Sure, so if I go in order again, the condenser is reimbursable at 35%. The locker room project, the air purification system is reimbursable. The shelving and the additional equipment are not, because that's furniture, fixture, and equipment. The security cameras are reimbursable, number 3. And number 4, the floor scrubbers are not.
Okay. So, and you have no idea what the
25,000.
25,000?
So 15 would be non-reimbursable.
Yeah,
Correct.
okay.
okay. All right, guys. Anything else? Thank you. Yeah, David, you want to just come out? David Perry,
David Perry,
address,
78 Granville Way.
okay.
What part of the middle school are we lacking heat?
Central office, so that whole area, the guidance suite, the office suite, and the first classroom out past the guidance office. So basically the first floor there.
We just redid that whole school 2 years ago, correct? 3 years ago?
5 years ago.
5 years ago? It's been that
Time
long.
flies, David, that's what I just.
Wow. Okay, and we missed that.
Oh, no, the condenser just failed,
Oh, the condenser failed.
yes. Oh, no, they've had heat. We wouldn't have kept them out for 5 years.
It failed on its own?
Yes.
That's weird.
And we thought it was under warranty, and it's not.
It's not under warranty?
No,
Because wasn't that the one that had no AC over the summer?
no AC over the summer.
And although the children weren't there, they were workers.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Top items in right now, so as we go through, if we add other things.
A lot of it before the new council comes in. Recreation. Do we have a recreation thing?
Yes, it's a one-pager.
I don't have it.
He's actually had 2 line items.
Where would it be?
It's in here, it's,
Oh. Boy, Stu, you really,
What does it look like?
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, I was
no,
gonna say, that's TVW. You want DPW to go next?
no, we just can't find your
I
request.
see a lot of fire,
You get nothing.
and I see DPW.
So, I mean, I can shorten, because we had submitted that a while ago.
No, I think it's, I think I read it to you today, didn't I? When we were
it's
talking.
2 items. One's for
Oh, it's
400,000
two?
and the other one's for 20.
So we had originally gone through and done a capital request expenditure list, and I think it got submitted early on. And really, I think what it comes down to for recreation is that there are 2 items that are, at this time, sort of pertinent for us. One is a request to complete the town farm project. And the other one is, we had been contacted by the Pecasset PTO about sharing the cost of a basketball court right next to where the playground is. And they would pick up 50% of it, and we would pick up the other 50%, which seemed to make a lot of sense.
So do you have prices on any of this?
Yep.
We-
So,
We really don't have it.
I have a copy of this that I'm happy to share.
We can make copies.
That's what you just sent me. I thought I just put it all this up. Sorry.
It's all right, there's just so much. We're doing good.
And the tennis courts, the remaining portion of the project, and then it was $10,000, which was to do the
say it
basketball
100
court at Pecasset, where
matter.
the PTO for Pecasset had agreed to pick up the other half of that cost. How much was that one again?
We
The
would
quote at the
need
time that
to
it came
debate.
in was around, I want to say
Everything we gave.
9,100 for each side, so we requested 10, just to be on the safe side.
10 for the basketball?
Correct, yeah. So it would have been essentially 10 from Pecasset PTO and 10 from the town.
Did you say what the town farm is?
That number we were looking for was the 400,000, and within that, there's still $150,000 to draw down on the state grant, just to put as part of that, in addition to the fundraising piece. So what we're looking for is, and we just closed out the RFP today, so the RFP, this fits within what that number is.
So the 400 would be reduced by the 150? Okay.
Yep.
But we don't have that in hand, or we do?
We can't draw down on it until the grant
Until we
is
spend
closed.
it?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So the basketball court at Pecasset would be near the playground, close to the school,
Correct.
to be used for the school and for the public, or?
Correct. Yep. Yep. I think the restriction on it would be during school hours. It would be limited to the school, which is what we do anyway.
Right.
And then the rest of the time would be available. That would not preclude us taking a look at the other side of Pecasset and doing the feasibility, which discussed about could end up being more courts, could be end up something else. But this was something that the Pecasset PTO, we appreciated they brought to us, and being very forthright. They were looking actually to originally do a half court, and we'd suggested the idea of expanding that to a full court. So
So they've done fundraising for
have.
their half?
Yep. Yep.
So no taxes paid for that?
Do they want to do fundraising
half
for
of it.
art? No.
Yeah,
I mean, they could move
I'm
forward with a
only
half a court. No,
teasing.
I know.
Economies of scale.
Well, that was the thinking. It's force multiplying, really. So.
no, I think that's a great use of two different groups working together. I think that's, and kind of multi-use.
Other schools have done that in the past too, right? Didn't Fort Barton, or did they just pay for it?
Fort Barton paid for it, but they also got a state grant.
Yeah, that's right, that's
Rep.
right.
Edwards
But I
helped
know
out with
Fort
that.
Barton did something,
Yeah, they
a
put the playground
fundraiser
in.
like that.
Doesn't matter how you get the money, just get it.
I have to do this, I think.
You have to take that?
I think they're calling Sam because they can't find me. It's all right. I know about this.
Right, so, and I think what had come up is there was originally, thank you, and this is, I think, the quote that came back for the basketball courts. And this was provided by the Pecasset PTO. So we had submitted a list earlier on, I think, when the request came in, and this time has
Yeah.
gone on. This is really what the two I
But
just
that was
presented
the
are the
list I
priorities.
found yesterday, and I wasn't sure
Yeah, I did.
if we were working from that list. I'm trying to clean my desk and get rid of.
So there's not a, document for, other than the email you sent me?
The RFPs had come in today, and it's within the range of what we requested.
So, Stu, this,
I just go.
oh, never mind. This is
So
a payment
that-
schedule, never mind.
That 400,000 plus the 150.
The 150 would be used to offset part of that
Right,
400,000.
but we'd have to allocate the 4.
We have to allocate the 4, and then we get the reimbursement of 150.
And there is additionally some fundraising, and we expect that there will be some additional savings on top of that we're waiting on.
Well, as you and I have discussed in the past, there is much, much interest in these pickleball courts, so.
Yeah. No, and I really do appreciate the passion of the pickleball community, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yes.
it's one of the first things we're actually looking forward to doing, if we're able to move forward, is to picking the color scheme for it. I'm hoping for a nice tie-dye, or, no, sorry.
I like that.
No, but we want to engage the community in picking the colors as well, which seems like a small thing, but I think it's actually important, right? So, yeah.
So this project's been delayed a little bit because we can't get pavers to do any projects. They're tied up doing
Oh,
Other
a
things.
ton of state roads and town roads, and so Stu was fortunate enough to contact DEM yet to get a second extension, which is beneficial to us to move this project.
Yep.
Because we were really at the gun to try to get this done, so it would be ideal to allocate them the money. Hopefully we'd try to get this thing done as quickly as we can, once we
This
get a
fall.
paver out there to do it.
Yeah, yeah, this fall. And having looked at what the availability of the vendors are, it's quite possible, as long as the weather cooperates. If not, it'll be completely done the first opportunity as weather breaks and
are we affected by asphalt plant closures?
So they closed last year.
Oh, they didn't? Okay.
Not at this time. It was something that came up previously, but for right now, I think we're okay.
Okay.
So what's our new drop dead date?
July 1st was what was put in for the
okay.
rest. But the hope here is that if the weather's cooperating the way it has, it'll be done this fall. So,
Yeah, we want the project done. I mean, everybody's clamoring to get it done,
It's not that, it's not real tight though.
but the delay is not because that we haven't been trying to get it done. There are a lot of roadblocks, and in the true sense of the word, to hold us up to try to get anywhere near getting this project done. And as far as I know it's not part of the request, but the comp plan's coming in to do
yep.
the fitness equipment things, which we already, site work, ready to do.
So there, anybody who's wondering why there might be like a swimming pool sized box at Town Farm right now, the
saw it.
install. Yeah, so Compan is doing the install. They were actually supposed to do it. Compan is the same one that did the playground. They were supposed to install last week, and the rain delayed it and delayed their crew, which was based out of Texas. So they're coming in, I think, this week or early next week. I was just checking in with Rick. So that's underway and ready to go.
Sorry, I had to make an important phone call, but did anyone mention the Boogamash?
No.
No.
All right, the Boogamash, playground basketball.
Basketball?
Hoops. Now, we said we would do it, but where are we taking it
So I
from?
thought we were taking that money from the,
Yeah, that's coming from a separate allocation. So right now we have the estimate and we have one contact with no
I
response.
think we're good to go with that,
Yeah.
but I believe we were using,
But what allocation is that coming out of?
wasn't that coming out of the power plant?
It was either
I don't
power
remember
plant
what the
or a
vote was.
separate casino fund.
Casino,
I think it was casino.
yeah.
I'm fine, we just need to add it then.
Yeah, we
Because I
need
don't
to
think
add
it's-
it, so how much
I
was
was-
that?
I think
You allocated 20.
20,000?
So we just have to add that.
So, and then we also added 60 from Mike's, no, then, right, in addition to the original 100.
Yeah, so we have
So we
to
need to
put that in
incorporate
there
as
too.
well, so.
We'll get this all
But
together.
I'm pretty
No, I
sure
know,
that,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was a Civic though, because when we met on the 30th.
Yeah, we were gonna do it civic.
It wasn't on the list and I had asked about it and you said it came from a separate appropriation.
Yeah, I thought we were using
I
some
don't
appropriation.
think we voted on that.
So I thought it
though.
was either gonna be, it wasn't power plant, it was the casino.
Casino Civic.
Right.
Yeah, so how much was that?
25,000 for 5 years.
That's what it was,
So,
okay.
so I don't need to include that.
So you don't
in here.
need to.
No.
Do
All
we?
right.
Oh, you guys already approved
That's what
that.
that was.
Okay. And we have it,
While I
in-
was on my cruise.
we have it in a vote, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We do have it in the vote.
I'm sorry, I
So
just
you-
wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that we didn't forget that.
Just from a from a
The casino
procedural
gave
standpoint.
We haven't?
us 25,000 for 5 years. Every
On the
every year.
separate allocation.
So is there anything?
The donation
because
from the casino?
Councilor Paul was actually one of the driving forces behind this, along with Ryan Petrie and Mike
Whole bunch of us
Montana.
at the casino.
No, which is great. My question is
At
there
the
anything
concert.
that needs to happen procedurally to be able to place the order for?
I think we already
Yes.
voted on it. That's
So
what my question
we're-
was. We're all set.
We're good to proceed.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to make sure, because that was a concert discussion where we were all together. And we all went and looked at it. All right, okay.
Thank you.
Any questions? No?
Thank you all.
Thank you. Rick, come on, Rick. We're saving the best for last.
So it's a one pager, it's like this spreadsheet, there's no backup to it, I'll let them explain. Some of them are pretty good.
It's
at it.
this one, guys. You
So it's
see
your
it?
July 1st list that you gave me,
Okay. So the first one on there
you
is
want
a,
this?
Oh, if that's what I sent to you. Good
okay, so
evening.
the first one on our list is a pickup truck for 55,000.
Okay,
I know he doesn't like to hear this, but that would be for the director.
I've written this car, I think it's well worth it.
You might not have that. I think Chris added it for you.
No, it's in there.
Okay.
yep, I have that down,
And that would be for you,
yes.
and your car needs replacement. Obviously, these two agree.
Well, I really don't have a car, it's just shared by anybody uses it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not accepting gasoline, so it's not.
Cut the hole in the floor so
Yeah,
he's Bonnie
yes.
Rubble.
So it's the Flintstone mobile.
He's actually using Danny Murphy's old car now.
Okay.
Well, that's the foreman's using that,
Oh, yes,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
all right, that's fine. That-
All right, so this is a pickup truck for you,
yes.
that you need. Okay. The dump truck, 103,000. You want to do it your way? Is it easier if you do it?
Well, are we doing the July?
So they want you to explain all the requests and they'll throw out which ones.
So,
Okay.
so the request I have right now is for a pickup truck, a dump truck, a utility body truck, a street sweeper, and a front end loader.
Oh, okay, now I
Okay.
understand how you do it.
Okay.
When we did this originally, that was
Right.
for the 5-year plan.
Right,
So are we doing just fiscal year '25?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, so the equipment that we have for DPW is the F-250 pickup and then garage vehicle maintenance equipment. That's for 60.
I don't have any of that. Well, I
Well,
have-
he's put in a 5-year plan.
Oh, okay.
But
So
that's in
Rick,
fiscal year
do you have
25.
this? Can we
Sue sent
give
it
it-
over to me, so.
Can we give him a copy of this?
So yes, I will take a copy of that.
Thank you. I mean, I've
Sue sent me.
heard about these, so we've discussed this a little bit in the past, right. So the dump truck. No, give it to Chris. The dump truck for 103,000.
550.
550.
Yeah, the,
You see what we're looking at?
yeah, I see that, yeah. But that was over the 5 years, because I don't really expect to get all that.
I know,
in
but
one
let's
year.
talk about it. Let's
Okay.
talk about it, because if you look at this list that's in front of you, what would your priority vehicles be?
Thank you, Denise. But are we going to discuss the sewer interceptor, the recycle center, the
No.
landfill, or the
No.
road paving?
No.
No, because we're waiting on USDA to resolve that, and the American Recovery money would be the balance of how we
Yes.
offset those. Those are the pieces we've been juggling, waiting on USDA.
Okay, and that includes the cleaning the interceptor?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
Stomping it, cleaning it.
yes, but that would be another fund. We're talking casino right now.
okay. Thank
So
you.
look
So
at,
it just boiled down to vehicles as well.
yes,
Okay, well then, I would say the street sweeper.
I was just gonna say, that's a big one, right?
And it keeps conking out.
Yes, and we've gone, yes. The sweeps,
Not that old. It's-
I mean, we seem to have, to me, it's another bulldozer. It's always broke.
The bulldozer runs more regularly than. It's only something like a 2016.
What is the
case.
problem?
It's a complicated piece of machinery, and it's maybe 10 years old, 8 years old, but they get rugged use.
Yeah.
So,
Does that get fixed in-house or sent to the specialist for?
things that we can fix ourselves, we do, but what's wrong with it now is gonna have to go out. It's an undercarriage issue.
so what would be your second? Well, my second one is your truck, all right?
That's fine.
And then what would you be your third?
The, I would say the third would be a 550, but it's tied with a service truck.
So it would
We
be
don't-
both the dump truck and the utility truck?
Yeah, we don't, this fiscal year, we don't need either one of those,
Oh.
but I projected it down the road. We're going to need a utility service truck. We're going to need another 550.
So when do you think you'll need those? 2, 3
Possibly,
years?
possibly fiscal year 26 or 27, and the front-end loader would be more like 2029.
So the reason why I say that is.
2028.
We will have another allocation of gaming monies coming up for FY '25 that would support those. So that's why she's asking.
Yeah.
What are the things you really need
What's the
today?
things you really need today? So what we decided was the street sweeper, the pickup truck, and the dump truck goes with the utility body truck, you
Well,
said.
they're both about the same.
So you said
rating.
26, 27 would be your bigger need for those.
But it's my understanding we're in fiscal year 25, so we're talking about this year, right?
So not for gaming money.
We're using FY '24 money.
Gaming money we spend the following year, because
Okay.
we want to get it all in. So we're using 23 and what's left for 23
Okay,
and 24 gaming money.
Now,
thank
we
you.
may be able to do more, but we're adding up priorities of everybody and
Yes.
seeing what number we get.
Thank you for the
Okay,
clarification.
and the front-end loader is gonna be a while down the road.
I would say 2028.
Okay.
But
Okay.
So we're at, what, 388?
Okay.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure, go ahead, Deb.
Rick, did you say something else about garage equipment or repair equipment?
Yes, it's not on here.
It's not on this list, but
Right.
you had said,
Yeah, we would like
Street sweeper.
And his
the
truck.
coolant transfer machine, an AC removal and installation machine, and some more money for the concrete work for the vehicle lift. Because when that was approved, it did not, it included that, but the lift ended up being more money, so we're short of maybe 8,000.
Okay, so what would we call that?
I have that down for garage vehicle maintenance equipment for a total of approximately 52,000. But that, you know, I guess that, probably more like 55,000 if we're talking fiscal year '26.
Well, what Deb is asking is, could you use it this year?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Right, Deb?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to assume what you're asking,
Well,
but, yeah.
because he had said that.
Yeah. Okay, so it's garage equipment for 55,000.
Which question, Dave? I know you got one.
Well, no, I was just looking, because the heavy vehicle lift was approved for 45,000, so he needs
So it
8 more for
was.
that.
The lift was approved,
Yeah, but he needs 8,000 more for that?
Right.
because when they dig in, there's no support.
No, what I'm saying is, if
that would
it's
be-
only 8,000, and there's already
Right.
45,
Right. But it,
we're sitting on this, may as well get it done.
in
But that would
fairness-
be the garage equipment, that would count for the garage
I
equipment?
think
No?
they thought that the concrete floor was gonna
I
support
think
it.
it's only
Yeah.
$8,000
Got into it,
difference.
it's not supporting.
I just hate to see this held up over
No,
8,000.
no, I agree.
The only question I do have, though, is, when is this sidearm mower gonna get done?
Okay, and I will get to that, but to clarify, the concrete was included, but the lift is about 8 grand more, 7 grand more. The sidearm was ordered in 2023, and it theoretically was gonna show up spring of this year, and now they're saying it's gonna be autumn. The last we heard was it's supposed to get into the US in October, which is sometime
Coming
next
from
month.
China?
England.
England?
That needs-
By way of China.
Been a year and a half.
Can I get back to Dave's question?
It wasn't on the ship that I came
So,
in.
Rick, I want to be clear with what I'm putting in this chart for us.
I'm confused too.
For the vehicle maintenance, you already have 45.
Yes.
So you're only seeking an additional 10.
No,
No.
the 45 was for the lift.
Okay.
What we would like is some equipment, like a coolant transfer machine, for
Okay.
instance. Another example is an AC removal and installation machine, and the 8 grand more for the lift.
Okay.
So how much would that? cost?
55.
That would be 55.
Okay.
Okay.
And a question, when would the monies actually be available, since we're talking?
Tomorrow.
fiscal-
Tomorrow.
Well,
Well, when we
no,
vote.
we have to come back and,
Yeah.
After the next
yeah,
council
we have to
meeting,
come back and do a
the
resolution
I'm just saying, though, it's
But it could
there.
be spent in this fiscal
Yes.
year.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
based
yeah,
on
that's
what our
we're
final
doing.
allocation is. I mean, right now, we're getting a laundry list,
Yeah.
and then we'll
Yeah.
make a determination.
That
Thank
puts
you.
them up to 443?
I don't know, Mike's
Puts him up,
keeping track.
puts what? Him up to? Oh, this fuck-
Based on 1, 2 in the garage, it's 443.
That's what I got.
So I'm gonna take out the dumpster and the dump and, utility.
Yeah, we're just doing pickup truck.
How long will it take to get a street sweeper?
5 years.
Well, I'm just asking, because it's.
Is it coming from
It took
England?
April to August to do the town, so,
What was that?
it took April to August to do the town, so,
To sweep the town.
Yeah, the mower
I will
breaks
say it was
down,
broke a lot.
oh, yeah.
sweeper.
It broke in front of my house, I think, once.
They went by
Honest to
Street
God, they were
7 times.
doing something.
It's just throwing the stuff everywhere.
Rick, can you buy them off the rack like that? You have to order a street.
Buy them off the rack.
We don't know all we've received. This was done a while ago, working on estimates. But it's conked out so many more times, we moved it up on the list. But how long it would take to get one, I don't know.
If it's coming from England, it might be forever.
And in case description makes a difference, I would like to clarify, because I remember, Denise, you educated me a long time ago when I asked for a horse and a dump truck, and then the dump truck conked out, and we prefer to trade it and use that money for that instead.
Yeah.
And the answer was no, because it wasn't, and that's fair enough.
Oh, because it was a capital
allocated to that.
request
So-
and was voted on, right.
What I would like to do is call that something to clean the streets, because it might be a vac truck versus,
Yeah, that's different names for different.
Okay,
so something to clean the streets.
a street cleaner.
Cleaner.
Okay.
It's a little different though, because
Yeah, I remember that because it was voted on by the people
Bond is
yeah.
different, though. Bond has a lot more restrictions.
No, it wasn't a bond, it was when we had it was when we had capital in the budget that people voted for. Yeah.
You were correct and fair enough, I just try to learn.
Well, thank you, Rick. Very seldom people say that, thank you. Okay.
What are you talking about? Oh, a fly.
All right, any questions, further questions for Rick? Thank you. All right, police chief. Did you hear me?
Catherine could not make it tonight, and I do know that we've been giving her 15,000 a year. I don't know if you want to do that.
Is there a request?
She did last time, it was 15, I don't have a copy of it though.
Yeah, I probably do, but don't even,
I'm gonna say it was 15,000.
yeah, don't you remember? Yeah,
And I questioned her at length about, was she sure that's enough, and she insisted it is.
okay. So Catherine, library, maintenance?
17,000
I think it was
miles.
maintenance.
I don't know what she's very cool about it. I believe it.
Okay, so library allocation would be 15,000?
2022
Oh,
was
and there's one
17.
other one, by the way, is the Cassett Cemetery paving.
That's right.
It's a 3-year, $75,000 a year.
The paving of the road needs, so we had told them they could do portions of it.
Right, they wanted like $225,000, they told me we would do it over 3 years.
Okay, so we're gonna give them 75.
Okay, hang on.
I know.
'Cause
I'm
trying to-
impressed there's no cars.
Yeah. You took care of me last time, we're
This
good.
is like the first year, I
We're
think.
good.
So library is what?
You're slipping.
We're finally done with cars.
I thought I'd never live to see this.
Just a few seconds, because Mike's keeping.
Trying to. We'll have to go back and fix this, but, yeah, hang on. For some reason, my Excel is acting up. It won't sum up the columns
I
for
did
me.
that last year, and I messed the whole cemetery around.
Just when you think things couldn't get any worse.
The cemetery needs some of those decoy coyotes.
Yeah, they just get stolen.
Cemetery
Let
and,
the dogs go up there, let people walk, but dog.
oh no, Deb
Oh, no,
has a solution.
I sent you information on the guy with the
75.
shepherds who comes in. He goes to my husband in the industrial park in Fall
This is to
River
get rid of geese.
to get rid of the geese. And
problem.
it's like a weekly cost. He'll come in day after day. Sometimes he has to come back a second week, sometimes a little more.
I'll forward that to Bob Sedona.
I already told him about it.
Yeah.
Why don't we just all take our dogs?
I don't have a dog.
It's a special kind of shepherd that goes
don't-
after geese.
Goes after them, or? is
But
there-
you know what, though?
But they don't like the smell of
You know
the-
what, though? It's in the industrial park in Fall River. It leaves their business, and I think they go to another business. It just makes them leave their business.
So it's gonna,
It'll go from
Okay.
there over to
All right.
villages of Mount.
Well, I was thinking
We're
the
gonna have to
same
move
thing.
some things around, but,
police,
Yes, ma'am.
go ahead.
So, I think, as I spoke to the administrator, the real priority is the first one, and there, in order of priority, is the upgrade to the video recording system for the interview room. Based on state law, we are required to, when we are conducting an interrogation for any crime that is a capital offense, an arson, child molestation, sexual assault, homicide, robbery, anything that is potential of life imprisonment, we are mandated to conduct the interview with audio and video. Our current video system is still using DVDs. So as you can
well,
imagine,
it's not VHS, yeah.
as you can imagine, it's a bit outdated. So with this system, this would only do one interrogation room, but it'll suffice for now. And I use the example of the capital crimes, but it does get a lot of use because how it is set up, the officer will go in there, and it could be not only, obviously, doing suspects, but witnesses and victims as well. So I would say that out of all of my requests, that's kind of a priority that we need done yesterday. The second one is the AEDs. I know you were speaking to the fire chief before, and I've put this on there. I'm still, as you all know, still chasing grants. The current AEDs that we have, they do work, but like Councilor Edwards had mentioned, they do use those little flash batteries. And also, our current AEDs only carry the adult pads, so they don't have child pads.
Wait, you have to buy the child pads?
They're not compatible with the AEDs that we have.
Really?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Well, then you must have a very old
I was
date.
gonna
We
say,
do.
yeah.
We do. They're Zolls, and they work, but they don't have child pads. So, and,
But don't they make them for the Zolls? Yes.
but not the
They're-
ones
They're
that,
expensive, though. They're more than the regular pads.
Okay. Well,
For American Heart Association, you can use adult pads on pediatric patients.
I know you can.
That's
we
what
did.
they say.
so with these, obviously, they're updated, they're meant for police. These are strikers, they're not Zolls. They come with
They're
a
outdated.
built-in battery, they get charged. And I'm sure Councilor Paul can speak to it and the chief. There was at a time talking about compatibility with having whatever the fire department has with what the police department has, but I'm sure you can speak to it that if we put pads on someone, EMTs, paramedics get there, they're gonna rip those pads off and they're gonna put their own stuff.
Or they might use your
I doubt
machine.
it, I doubt it, it's just been our
They're not
experience.
compatible right now.
Yeah, they're just gonna rip the
But
pads
if they
off.
were compatible.
Yeah, but,
That's what he's trying to say. If they're compatible, it's plug and unplug,
yes.
and that's it.
But why can't they use their defibrillator that they already have hooked up to the
They
kid?
have life packs.
Oh, okay. I got it.
But for an example, though, because he has this old AED Plus, that unit that's on the wall over there, Fire Marshal and I tried to update it, it won't even take an update. That thing's obsolete.
So we have a bunch of those around town, like Recreation has a bunch of them.
No, recreations are all new.
So,
And what about the schools?
Senior center's new, the schools are on their own, but they get some new units too.
So,
Last year,
So
they
how
had-
many, eight,
13.
library's new, that's
so would
2019.
it make sense to look at the fire department and them to get anybody else and put a package together?
why is his
Just
six
save like
costing
50
just as
grand,
much
whatever it
as
is,
your?
you know, try to get the whole thing done.
I don't know.
I don't
Really,
know,
That's why
police,
we're
fire,
talking about
And this one,
collaborating.
that's it.
because his six is costing just as much as your 13.
And I just got this quote last week, so it was up to, and I met with the sales vendor, he came in. So,
Fire chief, are you hearing this?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
When was your quote?
I'm trying to look it up on my.
Oh, okay, but
All
it was a while ago, right? No? Okay.
You know, that's how it goes. Fire's always twice as much.
Steve Jones has a nicer smile, I don't know.
and
Well, I thought you were getting a grant. Go ahead.
Well, and I'm still
Yeah,
working
I'm
on it.
sure
And the
you
last thing, obviously, is the $50,000 to support a feasibility study. I was reminded by the clerk this week that we're gonna have to extend the deadline of our resolution again,
Yep.
which I know you don't have a problem with. But we're at the point now we've toured and we've visited, like similar-sized communities and demographics to look at their public safety complexes and their police departments and their fire departments. As you can imagine, all of them have been recently updated within the last decade. And ours is, as the chief was saying tonight, half a century old. But we're at a point now that we just need assistance with a consult. Placement, how many fire stations would we keep open? All of those logistical issues that we're just not qualified to answer or put out there to the public and get some input and feedback. We'd want someone or a firm to come in who have done this in other communities, have gone out, researched this, look at the runs, look at the current layout, and kind of walk us through a process so we can make a presentation to you as to what recommendations would be.
We've never given you any money for a feasibility study? Okay.
Yeah.
No, we've given other people, that's why I'm wondering. Okay,
And that's it.
all right. You're cheap this year.
Yeah, you know
You're
what?
inexpensive.
Pigs get fat, hogs get starved.
How much can you get with grants?
A lot.
Well, I mean,
Anything is good.
well, and I mean, our relationship, as the administrator said, with the USDA is kind of, we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed on one of the grants, but they were very good, and we signed the grant today to assist the fire department in getting that PFAS gear for the $25,000. But they did inform us, and we're still looking at it. Normally, given our population rate, because we're under 20,000, we were eligible for 35%. But they're saying that because, based on the last census, the median income has increased, so now that knocks us down to 15. So, but it's still 15,
Well, that's gonna keep happening.
right.
So we better get the grants now.
Well, also, I would think the next census is 2030. So by then, we could get very close, if not over, 20,000 in our population.
We're liable to be out of grant land.
Yeah, so,
Chief,
Okay.
based on our conversation last week, what was the number in your term as police chief for the dollar amount in grants?
oh, jeez.
He couldn't tell you that. It's-
That we've received?
Yeah, from the grants that he's applied for in his term as chief, it was over 10 million.
10 million?
I would probably say more like 5.
Five?
Yeah.
Maybe 7.
So I was gonna say, it was close to.
Somewhere around, well, I know, I was just speaking to the fire chief about his request for portables. It's my understanding that there is some money left in that American Recovery radio project, which is still ongoing. I think there was maybe $300,000 left in there. And the reason why we're holding off on that is because we have another grant for $500,000 to rehab the dispatch center. The problem is getting a vendor and a contractor to come in to bid on it, to want to do it. And I know we were working with the solicitor and the clerk about possibly extending it. I'm hopeful that, given that the temperatures change and it's not a lot of outside work, that we can get someone to come in and start on that project. But we got a grant waiting for that, to start with that too. But I make mention of it because I know the chief was asking for portables, and there's still some money left in that allocation from that radio project.
Okay.
You never fail.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
What else do we have?
That's it, right?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
No, she's done.
Oh. Oh, we gave her,
We gave her, she's done all of our major capital projects.
and we gave her some of
We
the,
gave her some community monies to do.
the power plant.
She had to figure what it was to do.
Was it like a roof or something outside?
No, wasn't it the cellar?
Yeah,
To
it
make
was
like
to
a,
do around the basement.
Yeah.
To waterproof it.
yeah, so that she can make a room in there.
So that it gives her more space.
Yeah, so they could,
Janet?
yeah.
So she's good for now.
She's good.
She's really good. She's done a lot of work in that building.
All right. Yeah, so Mike's been keeping tally of some stuff, and he's gonna read through it for us.
So I'm not gonna give all the dollars right now, I'm just gonna say what's on here, and if there's something missing, that's okay, we can put it in. If we wanna take something out, we can. So I have the fire PFAS equipment, the gear extractor dryer, that's for the fire department. And then for this, because I tried to do priorities, it was hard to follow priorities for the schools, but I have the condenser, the locker room completion, security cameras, the floor scrubber, and then their 3 top priorities, middle, high school, and elementary locks, recreation, complete town farm, and the basketball half court. North Tiverton, the plan implementation, DPW, the 250 pickup, the street sweeper, and the maintenance equipment. Library maintenance allocation, Pecasset Cemetery paving, police interview room, AEDs, and safety complex. So just total for each right now. Fire department, $215,000. School department, $652,000. Recreation, $410,000. North Tiverton, $60,000. DPW, $443,000. Library, $15,000. Pecasset paving, $75,000, and police, $79,251, and change for a total of $1,949,252.17. Now, I haven't put anything in here in terms of how to look. Let me just put in some formulas to look at what we have. So FY '23,
Yeah, and I wanna add something.
no, I should put
So
those.
read back
I
recreation.
wanna see if you guys agree with me on fire. Let's look at fire for a minute.
Yeah, so let me do that after. Let me add in because it's gonna screw
Okay.
up my columns.
I'd like to add portable radio batteries and charger for fire. And I'm a big one on, if you don't do maintenance, it gets more expensive, so I want to add the Station 3. replace rotted rakes, all of that. I want to paint Station 2.
Hang on, so how many items are you putting in?
I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, so, I'll start over. Portable radio batteries, that's one item, for $35,000. Station 3, $57,000.
What, Station 3 maintenance, is that what it is?
Yeah, rotted
Rotted
rakes and
rakes.
all of that.
75?
57.
57.
Station 2, prep and paint exterior and replace corroded railing,
I'm just gonna put maintenance,
13.5.
13,500.
Yep,
Is that it for fire?
nope.
No? That's okay, I just want,
AEDs, 21,000.
Do we want to keep that one on there or move that all to fire?
I think we should put it there and then they can always come back with different prices.
Well, the police department's a direct quote. It's a direct estimate.
Yeah, but so was fire.
So is fire, so why don't we wait? You want to say something?
Yes, so,
You're raising your hand.
so just talking to the chief, our grant was different. So we're looking at the Life Pack 1000. He's also getting a credit for the ones he's turning in, which we're not. So that's why his
Oh,
quote is
all
lower.
right, all right. So 21,000 for the AEDs.
We- I'll figure it out.
But does it make sense that we get the same ones? That they're compatible?
Is there a reason for the difference between the two?
Is there a reason why you're looking at a different brand? Or you're getting Life Pack?
So we were quoted for the Life Pack 1000, which is compatible with our Life Pack
That's a really
15s.
good one.
2,555.67 for a total of 17,889.69. And with freight and shipping, it was 18,113.34.
The fire is gonna use theirs much more, and they need a more sophisticated one. I know, with my experience, Life Packs are really good.
Yeah.
And they're also compatible with what the hospitals have too. So the same thing can happen. It's happened before, where we've just plugged
Right,
it into
just- 'cause
ours in the
it's just a
emergency
compatibility
room
issue.
because they already
Right.
have the pads on.
But will it be compatible with the police ones?
No.
No,
Does it need to be compatible with the police ones?
it doesn't need to be. I mean, we can place our own pads and use our own Life Packs.
Well, by the time they arrive, they probably have already shocked 2 or 3 times.
If shock
And
was
you may
advisable,
not-
right. Sometimes you don't
and
even
you may
shock.
not have to
Sometimes
shock
you don't even
again,
shock, right.
or they might have assumed,
Right.
resumed a normal rhythm by the
Right.
time you get there.
Right.
But it's important that they shock right away if it's shockable.
Exactly.
And I'm showing my nursing.
so I have 21, you're saying 18 and change?
So it was a little while ago, so I.
So you
added-
want 20, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just
mean,
wanna make sure I
I
have
think
the
this
right
quote
number.
is still accurate, but they quoted for 30 days.
Okay,
And I also think it's really important we do the security cameras and intercom. We've been talking about that for some time now, and there was incidents that we said that we would put this into the casino because of incidents that have happened. So the security cameras for 23,000 and intercom system.
how much is that, 20?
I'm sorry, like 23,000.
Are you not including the PFAS?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all
that was
included.
already in there.
That was already
And the
included.
gear extractor?
Yeah,
Yep,
that was
that's already
already
in there.
included, I'm just adding. How much does that bring them up to?
So I just want to make sure I have this right. Yeah. Fire is now up to 364,500 with a total right now of just under 2.1 million.
Well, then I'm adding one more thing.
Okay.
Patient chairs for 16,000. This not only is helpful for the patient, but for our staff also.
Right, and it has the track so we can.
Firemen hurt their backs a lot
Exactly.
from carrying stretchers down the stairs.
Has the proper restraints on it. You can track them
right.
down the stairs if you.
And this is safety for both the patients and the firefighters. And that's 16,000.
Okay, so it's 380,500.
Yeah. All right, the schools, we pretty much put everything in there, right?
We have everything in for the schools right now.
And for the
Yep.
police, we put
We have-
everything in
We have
there.
everything in recreation. We
And-
have the plan for North Tiverton, extra money. We have DPW.
And Mick was everything he wanted.
It does not include the dump truck, and it does not include the utility body service truck.
But he said that he wouldn't need that for a few years. Oh, he's coming back.
Right now, we're spending 2.1 million total.
Yeah. So Rick, the other stuff would be 2020, you said, what?
Plus 8.
Maybe I misunderstood something, but on the paving, you're giving 75,000?
On the
For
the CASA paving, the
Cassidy,
cemetery
yes.
paving.
Oh, okay, is there anything for the,
So we've got monies that from municipal rollover of the budget.
Yeah, your paving, don't you remember we are gonna roll it over now?
Like a certain percentage.
Whatever you have left over in paving gets rolled over.
yes,
And there was something else.
And we're
we
scooping
did.
too,
So
right?
whenever, at the end of the year, there's a percentage that gets rolled.
Yeah.
Right, plus the 200,000 that we get for sports betting goes right into paving,
Paving.
and I'm,
advocating for additional.
well, I advocating for this. The state is doing a 3-year program, so we did that last year. They also instituted a 1-year program, so this is what I had mentioned before. So they had a 1.5 million, and you get 1/3 of that back.
Right.
So when that was received back, and I understand now, I didn't then, that went back into gaming. So we have spent all that money. They instituted another one.
It went back to ARPA.
Oh, it was ARPA funds. It wasn't
Okay.
gaming funds.
Oh, okay, thank you. And they instituted another one for 500. So we have enough for the 500 if we get the monies back in the reimbursement, but it goes to us. But we don't have enough for the 1.5. And that one is so-
I'm lost. Are you
So,
lost?
so you can, if we give you 1.5, you'll get how much back?
we get 500.
You get 500 back. Right now, and we already gave you enough to capture that this year.
No, what I would say is this, Mike, the 500 one, which is it's a little confusing because the DOT programs overlap. They have what they call a 24, 25, 26 program, which was instituted before. We spent about 600 of the 1.5. So we were short 900.
What do you mean by short?
Well, to take advantage of that
So
program.
the issue with the state program is you have to fund it up front.
Right.
And we can't do that.
No.
We just can't do it. So, we'll do paving the best that we can, and if we can adopt some of the state program based on the monies we have available, that's what we'll do. We don't have the ability to come up with the way, they want it in an appropriation before the fiscal year even started.
Yeah.
You know,
So they
it's-
want us to freeze $1.5 million.
Can we use the money that was rolling over?
Use,
So that's the municipal capital fund. That's where that went, right? That's the money that is earmarked for paving. After a year's finished, you do so many different
all right,
things.
so what's in the municipal capital account?
Right now,
Use the money.
after closing '24, we had how much to roll over in paving? Almost 800,000?
About 7 something, I guess,
Yeah.
high sevens.
Yeah, and then we
But there's
got,
other stuff in that account.
no, that's just for paving.
Oh,
We had a very,
Well, in drainage.
right. But we had a lot of unexpended funds in
Right.
'24.
and that's why we did
So after we
this.
did all of the
25%.
resolutions, then the 25% amounted to around 400,000 for paving, and then he still had a carry forward left over from, that was accumulating. So right now, in paving, there's about 800,000.
Right.
In addition to that, part of the reimbursement from the state that we got, that offset the ARPA funds, was 221,000. Can you put that together with that 800,000 and use that?
So we're not doing ARPA tonight, I didn't believe.
No,
No.
I know, but I'm just
But
putting
yeah,
the
in the
bee in your
future,
bonnet.
when we have that.
So
Yeah.
we'd have 1.5.
Well, you have one,
We'd have one.
you'd have one. But the question I'm asking is, can you use that source of funds?
Yes.
To satisfy that program?
So I would say up to that amount, yeah, but that's not, you know,
But you're only asking for an additional 5.
Well,
Is
I'm
what I'm doing
suggesting that
math.
if you can use that million, then you'd be looking.
You'd be looking at an additional 5.
Unless you've already spent some of that money, that's the part I don't know.
Well, we spend a little bit doing potholes and all that, but what ends up happening is, Chris said, the money has to be allocated even though you don't have to spend it. And if you don't allocate it, that's okay, but what happens is, if you're short 500,000, then that means you, in a sense, left 170,000 on the table. But the huge hiccup is, even though you don't have to spend the money until 2026, you have to have it allocated. In the current program, you have to have it spent, there's 2 programs. One is it has to be spent by 2025 and 26. So that's the only point, is that if we got another 500,000, we would get 170 back. If we don't get the other 500,000, then it is what it is.
You don't get anything back?
Well, we
Oh, okay.
We get
okay.
things back.
Because technically, we have $1 million allocated,
Yeah.
because it's in that fund.
Right, so we do get that 1/3 back, but in a sense, you're leaving 170 on the table. But if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Because
So you're
Yeah,
not leaving the whole 170. You're leaving the 500,000 portion of that 170. So the 170 is based on 1.5, right?
No,
No.
because they had 1.5 for the first program, which is still ongoing, then they added another program for 500.
Yeah, but-
It's 2 million. So 1/3 of 2 million
Is
roughly
170.
670. So we're short that money.
So I'm going to suggest this. If for the next meeting, the first meeting in October, if we can have all this down on paper, because
I'm confused.
Because right now, unless we throw something else in here, we're looking at about 2.1 million. We have 3 plus 8
So we have
just in
3.
casino money. Plus we have ARPA funds. So we still have an
We're
opportunity.
not talking about opera until the
Right,
dump.
right. So we still have an opportunity based on what we hear back for
We
the,
get the grant.
I did not want to commit to this program because I'm not going to get in a box with the state saying the town's going to do something, and then I don't know where we're going to be with it. I don't know what the schools are going to come up with. And I still don't know if there are some things outstanding that
Right.
I think we're in a good spot right now, but until we get this ARPA thing squared away with USDA and get this landfill closed,
Yeah.
some of
it's
the
on
things
my
that
list for
surround
October.
that, I think that,
I have a big
we're
list
sitting
of
on a good chunk of money, and I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's, we will get a reimbursement based on the amount of money that we have available. And once we get a solid footing on how we're closing this landfill,
over there,
Denise is
hold
putting
this
up some
down,
monies on this out of the general fund,
that gonna be easier?
until we get this thing squared away. The money will either come from ARPA or it'll come from USDA. It's gonna come from one of the two. That money's gonna be earmarked so that we can square away our, what we owe. It is what it is. It's-
Right, and if I may offer that, if we could just keep fixing the sweeper, if it's of any help, if we could keep fixing the sweeper for another year, then that money might be considered to put towards paving.
Did we pave anything this year?
No, not this year.
What does it
No, we
cost
did
roughly?
We used, over the last 2 years, we've used.
No, this past fiscal.
This past fiscal?
Oh, yes. this
We
past
used
fiscal.
$1.2 million of ARPA monies to pay.
What-
So that came out of the American Recovery monies.
What roads do we pave?
What roads we paved all the ones around the
There's-
old
there's-
Grand Central.
yeah, there's a whole
Down behind
thing,
Sunderland,
yes.
Some up on Garden Heights.
some up on,
Beard
some
Square.
over on, like Captain Circle.
Yep. Captain, up my way.
Wow,
down by Roseland Terrace.
I gotta get out more.
Yeah, we've done a lot of work.
Well, I know my whole neighborhood just north of me was done in 2001 or 2000.
2002.
They brought that right down to dirt, yeah.
That's what they did.
But that was all done with ARPA money.
Put it right back.
Was I sleeping?
All right,
how did I
so
miss
this is
that?
all- We can visualize it.
Yeah, you can see whatever that's looking.
I lost my shoes.
Well, I think we can all agree that a priority is
Now,
to
if,
get their recycling
now,
center done.
if all of this we approve, I think you will have about 1.7 left.
Can I just ask?
All right, why don't we look?
So we have nothing else to add, right?
I just
Yeah,
want
at the
to,
moment, at the moment. So
Does anyone want to add anything? Everybody see this?
See it?
So fire, that was everything that I added, that's what we already approved.
We're not lawyers.
We already talked about.
so can I just go back to the fire?
Yes.
So what we did not approve on the capital request was the training facility, the inflatable boat trailer, and then the Station 3 apparatus bay drop ceiling.
Yeah, because he said that was more important. You have to do this.
I'd like to do the exterior
before-
woodwork, so
yes,
dampness
'cause
doesn't
that's
get
what he
integrated.
For, okay.
That's why I
But I just wanted to confirm that because I was,
And
okay.
then for the schools, we gave them everything, I believe. What? The
It's in the
dividers.
652.
Yeah, they're,
No, it's not there. The vestibules and the dividers are not there.
So we took your,
No, he's right.
That's the 127, and then he only
Right.
so, what we didn't put in was the middle school,
middle school and elementary full bond.
trying to find it.
The
Right, but are
security
they-
films,
They're
right?
listed separately, right?
Yep.
So middle school dividers were how much?
Yeah, but look, everyone needs to pay attention what we bought,
Right.
the amount we're giving them.
Yeah, yeah.
30,000.
Now, is that reimbursable?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was the one that
I'll
was
do that in a minute.
reimbursable at a higher rate because it
It might
was
be, right.
safety
Right,
and
yeah.
educational possibly.
Submit all this stuff
Yeah.
and approval, but yes.
So middle school Picasso dividers?
Picasso and Fort Bond we have together at 62,000. And if you want to do the vestibule altogether, I'll add it up.
But you could use
Vestibules come out to
right.
55,000, which,
The vestibule.
that's a whole other story.
Those are all 55,000?
55?
They come out to 55,000.
No, no.
30-something.
The vestibules?
The security film in the vestibules,
It's 9 and 9,
9 and 9 and 6,
9 and 9 and 6.
Oh, I am this.
There's five.
and the high school.
55.
All right
55.
there, finance guy.
They're making fun of you
We
already.
made a mistake.
All right, these,
So Denise, help me out.
so right now, we know, Brendan, that each of these are 35?
Well, for sure.
Right, that's what I'm saying, for
These
certain.
should be, yes, the
Yeah,
security.
I don't want to put anything that we're not certain.
Yeah, once you get approval, we submit our, we submit all the documents to RIDE, and then we would know definite.
Oops,
Yeah, not the floor scrubber.
right.
So I believe when
Placeholders.
this list that was from back February 2024, once we edited it for those other items, came out to 647,000.
It's more than that, look up.
Just wait, oh,
But that's for this list from February, and then there's the other items from the from the difference that was not spent on the doors.
So,
okay, so that's the new total, 799.
and the new reimbursement total
The
is,
new reimbursement, I have to do that separately.
I was just way around it.
Where's my sum? Where'd that go?
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Just to clarify, Madam Chair, the school reimbursement doesn't go back to the casino fund, it goes back to a school capital fund,
96 and
which
change.
can't be spent without approval. But I don't want people to think it goes back to the casino.
It
Unallocated money that's not spent for a project, say they bid something for 100, and it comes in at 75, that 25 would go back to casino.
But the reimbursement fund already owes us 1.
Right, but I'm just saying, but I just want to make it clear, so there's no confusion. That reimbursement fund goes into a school capital account, which per ordinance cannot be spent until it's approved from the.
Denise gets it.
So 281.50 would be
So
the,
out of that,
So-
800,000, 200 and.
So can I ask a question? Because I'm kind of missing something. You get $799, so that's the total school request.
yep,
So if you take $799 minus the $127,000 that was in the sheet of the request for the difference in the 255 minus the 86.
Yep.
Right, they had some excess monies they're looking for, that was the door project. So there should have been 127,000 up there for these items,
okay,
and I don't know how you label them, but it's the
okay.
They're the first.
condenser, the locker room project.
Right,
Okay.
condenser, locker
So
rooms.
those should have totaled 127, and then his other sheet was 672,000, but 25 of that was a duplicate of what was on that 127.
Okay, so
So-
let's just go,
So, so 799 minus 127 should be 672?
647. Because we had to pull out.
No,
We had, we had,
so
What sheet is wrong?
can we just go by line
This sheet
items?
is wrong?
this sheet is wrong.
we had,
I think if we just go by line items, we'd be good.
Mike, I don't think you're wrong.
I know, but this is a duplicate of what's on here.
Right, so add up the things that they need. 100, 350, add these numbers up, exclude those four, you're gonna get 672.
We're gonna vote on this.
Yeah, I know, but it's, you're saying, so this excludes that? Okay, all right, that's all right.
So
Add the 127.
let's just double check the line items to make sure.
Okay, I will.
So we're saying the
I just
condenser,
want to make sure we're accurate here.
The condenser is 45.
let Chris finish what he's doing first.
Okay, I'll do it that way first, 45.
And then locker room completion is 40. Security cameras, I think this was 12. The middle school dividers is 30.
No, that's, you're missing the condenser for 30.
I thought the condenser was 45.
Excuse me, the floor scrub is for 30.
Yeah, I haven't gotten down there yet.
Oh,
This
no,
is
no,
not
no.
in, it's not in your same order. So, Chris, condenser is 45.
Yep,
Locker room completion is 40.
correct,
Security is 12.
correct. So no, I'm at 97,
MS,
and then 30.
MS dividers is 30. Pecasset and Fort Barton dividers is 62.
So wait, that's 127, that agrees with this letter here.
Okay.
Okay,
Then the vestibule security films total 55. There's a couple of those on there.
okay,
Floor scrubbers 30. Middle school locks 175. High school locks 250. And elementary locks 100. So that should total out to 799.
And out of that, 799 will be reimbursed.
280, 150.
so now it came out to 699.
Let me just check. So
So it's like 5.
E12 through E21. Yep, E12 through E21.
Deb, can you see it? Come sit here. Come sit with me. Are you happy with me? All right. Does that make sense to everybody?
No, it does, but then some of those items are being paid for with leftover money from previously approved projects.
Yeah, but it's, all- but it's.
I have
it's
672
still
plus the 127.
So I don't know how we do that.
Okay, I agree.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I had it right, that that's.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
and everyone needs
All
to
right.
realize that is we're getting 280 back, so
Right.
this is a deal.
Yeah.
So,
I think.
what is our FY23 number again, Chris?
Our FY 23 number was
Eight something?
No, we should.
No.
838, 150.
838150. I'll change that format in a minute. And our FY24,
Didn't talk to the other one.
3 something?
3022, 850.
Impressive, Mike.
Not bad for a social worker. huh?
Say, I'm very impressed with this. Be the budget officer.
He lost me when he turned it on.
33861.
Yeah, I'm all set, so.
And equals 39, F39 equals F. It didn't work.
So just so you know, when the resolution is prepared, I'm not making a distinction between where the funds are coming from, because it's all in one pot now, right?
Oh, yeah.
That- We made that.
Yeah, but
3.2.
Right, Denise, we're okay with that, that's what we discussed. We did that, the only reason I did it for the first resolution is we were playing catch-up.
All right, and so then recreation, 510, 410. Am I looking at that? Yeah. North Tiverton Committee, 60. DPW, 443.
This is I, J, K, 7 minus K, 8, right?
That's the revitalization.
Yeah, so, here's, with everything here, yeah, we've already approved that too.
With everything here,
With everything here, these allocations here, where if we agree, there's 2.261,752 and 17 cents in a total allocation with a leftover to still be allocated of $1,599,247.83.
Why is there 7 cents in the allocation? There shouldn't be any 7
Because
cents.
somebody over here had cents, right there, 80s.
Okay, sorry.
And we can,
Just round up,
so,
we round up.
we're gonna make that, I'm gonna make that 16.2. 16.2.
Get rid of all these pennies.
There we go.
Makes my job easier.
But that didn't change it. Somebody else has changed. Oh, wait a minute. Where else is there change?
Did it change down here, Mike?
It's in column A, yeah.
Column where? E?
Right there at the bottom.
Oh, here. Oh, yeah, yeah. 16, yeah, because they weren't formula based, that's right. It was giving me some trouble when I was doing that. Okay.
Still got sense.
all right, so, any
What
questions?
is that? It's oh, shit.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's his,
I know, but it's gonna screw up my,
Is that your feet?
Pretty sophisticated for us.
oh, you're right. Okay. That's why I didn't move it. I thought it was, so 22616,765 with 1599235 left over, noting the potential minimum, right? Potential minimum, school reimbursement is 281.50, and we're also looking at
Grants.
at least what's on paper here. Total of 450. No, that can't be right. Oh, yeah, so 450. Oh,
No, it's not. They're all-
Yeah.
They're all, these
Yeah.
are all things that the public don't understand.
$25,000 for PFAS grant,
All of this would be taxable.
150,000 town farm grant.
You know.
Yeah,
Joanne.
okay. So our potential reimbursement in total is 455 with maybe some extra for school projects for security purposes.
All right, right.
So that's a pretty healthy return.
Yeah. Any questions from the council? Deb, I'm gonna take a vote.
This is a preliminary vote. This is a preliminary, the final vote with the resolution.
Right, so
So,
this
Can we,
would be
what's the
a
remainder?
vote for for the attorney to prepare a resolution with these numbers as listed.
so I would,
Madam President, does anybody, I don't know if the chief's got one last pitch, does anybody have any reconsideration on the training aid? EMS training can be done in-house, they have that equipment and machinery. It's not easy in Rhode Island to get fire training, you gotta go to Exeter.
Well, this would be for the new guys.
No, I'm talking about the training aid,
That, like, the little house.
yeah.
the training facility, little
So
cargo
they-
thing.
You have the container, correct, chief?
No, this
This would be an entirely new container? Okay. Because there is one there now.
Standalone new thing.
And it's 50 grand?
It is. It's specially manufactured and comes with built-in props. So we were thinking we would have it at Station 3 in the middle of the town. It's hard to get firefighter training. We're gonna have so many probationary firefighters and new firefighters that we could do evolutions there. There's doors and windows that they can force their way through, and then they can be reset and used over and over again. But
So
they're-
it's listed as a training facility
It
on your
is.
request
It is,
for 50,000.
yes. And it's movable, so if things change, we could move it to a different location. It's not a permanent structure.
All right, everyone agree, we'll add that?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask for the reconsideration, because EMS is something that fire and rescue do pretty
Yeah,
much every
I was
day.
just trying to.
Well, and you also have a number of new
Yeah, it's
um,
fire training that
employees.
you
Okay,
really,
well,
So I just want to check my formulas.
he's gonna
3,
send you this.
That's fine.
11.
when it comes in, the
Yeah.
administrator's gonna go through a gear on.
All right. So our new total allocation is 2,311, 765, and a remainder of 1,549,235. Reimbursements stay the same. So, Madam President, I will make a motion that we approve this as a preliminary allocation from remaining 23 and 24 casino funds, and direct the solicitor to develop a resolution for us to finalize these at our next meeting.
Yes.
That's fine. Could I ask just a question? I just want to make this on the record. The 925 for the fire pumper and the 286 for the school computers capital was already allocated, correct?
Right.
But it was never approved by a resolution.
Right, so you have to do.
So I got to
that.
add that in as well.
Okay.
But it won't affect this number.
It won't affect
It doesn't affect this number.
Deduction from the balance of stuff.
All right, thank you. I just want to make that
So
clear.
motion's there, you need a
So I
second.
have a motion, do I have a
I have a
second?
second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Ta-da. All right,
Smart expense.
900 more accounts Denise has to count.
all right, we're gonna go in executive,
Can we give her a raise with gaming revenue?
I'm not ready to give you another update on that.
so we're not gonna
You don't
have
have to, yeah.
executive. All right, so
I
we're
just started
not,
going through that just like this.
we're not having executive this evening.
That was the only thing.
Yep. I'd like to entertain a motion to,
So moved.
adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those who are on the negotiating committee.